Today we're going over the top 10 abandoned places in Arizona. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of abandoned places in Arizona, so make sure you like if you want to see a part 2. Today the list is going to start off easy and the spots are going to get cooler and cooler as the list goes on. I must say this for legal reasons, but I do not recommend going to any of these places. Trespassing is illegal and you can be punished to the full extent of the law. With that being said, the first spot on our list is Walnut Canyon Bridge in Winona. In 1922, the United States Bureau of Public Roads undertook a 23-mile road building project along the Winslow Highway that stretched between Flagstaff and Angel through the Coconino National Forest in Arizona. The largest structure built as part of the project was the Walnut Canyon Bridge, which spans the canyon crossing Walnut Creek 1 mile northwest of Winona. Soon after its completion in 1924, the road and the bridge became part of Route 66. While the Walnut Canyon Bridge represents common construction of its time, it is now a rare surviving example on Route 66. The bridge is closed to traffic, but remains intact on a short stretch of abandoned roadbed. The National Park Service listed the Walnut Canyon Bridge in the National Register of Historic Places in 1988. Dixie Mine in North Scottsdale. The mine that today is known as the Dixie Mine was originally known as the Red Mountain Mine. The two horizontal tunnels had been developed to 240 feet in length and 100 feet in length by 1917. In 1972, the process started to include the mine into the park. In the early 1980s, there are reports of members of the general public being injured in the tunnel. The gate was constructed to allow authorized users access while protecting the public from the hazards in the tunnel. Abandoned Sears in Sierra Vista. The closure reflects Sears' long-standing struggle in the face of rising e-commerce buying, changing consumer tastes, and fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. The once storied retail chain has eroded rapidly in recent years. Sears buildings across the country have soon turned to abandonment. Lisa Frank Factory in Tucson. The 300,000 square foot manufacturing facility has been baking in the desert sun since 1996. The industrial building was once the workplace for nearly 400 employees, but the firm's decision to license and contract out design production saw that number decline to a mere 6 by mid-2016. Spread over an 18.5 acre lot, the mixed office/manufacturing/warehouse boasts a number of interesting architectural features, including a copper-tinted glass panel facade. Inside, 28-foot high ceilings keep a small army of Frank's larger-than-life characters from looking too oppressive. The building has been on and off the market repeatedly. Ben Swinger listed in mid-2016 for a reduced price of $13.25 million. However, a recent posting lists the property as off-market. Montezuma Castle at Lake Montezuma. Montezuma Castle is an ancient abode structure located in the Verde Valley in central Arizona. Thanks to its colorful name, the 5-story, 20-room building, sheltered high in a limestone cliff, is sometimes thought to be the former home of the Aztec Emperor Montezuma. Scholars have proven, however, that the early white settlers who assumed the structure was built by the Aztecs were mistaken. In truth, Montezuma likely never stepped foot in Arizona, and Montezuma Castle was built by cliff-dwelling Sinagua Indians. F Troop Fort Courage and Pancake House in Houck. Of the many trading posts to be found along Route 66, it's surprising to learn that less is known about one of the most recent than of those that ceased to exist decades ago. Just across the border into Arizona, Fort Courage, which only finally closed a couple of years ago, is quickly falling into disrepair and obscurity. An unashamed tourist trap, it was an exercise in cashing in on the success of the short-lived, popular television series F Troop. There was no actual link between the two, and it certainly wasn't the series' location, but the owners tactically encouraged the idea that this was where the TV program had been filmed. Next to the trading post is the abandoned Pancake House, which was originally built as a restaurant by Van de Kamp's Holland Dutch Bakery of Los Angeles. The company had a chain of windmill-style bakeries around LA and planned to extend across the country with a distinctive windmill building design. The concrete building has 16 sides to give the appearance of being round, while the roof would have once supported a giant windmill. Today, the trading post, gas station, and restaurant are shuttered and fenced off. There seems to be no record of even when it actually opened, let alone any details of what is likely to become of it. Faded billboards along the interstate still exhort the traveler to stop, but there's no longer any denial welcome at Fort Courage. Christmas Tree Inn in Santa Claus. Santa Claus, Arizona was founded in 1937 by Nina Talbot, a real estate agent from Los Angeles. She must have had a good sense of humor because she proclaimed herself to be the biggest real estate agent in California. Not because of her success in the business, but because she weighed over 300 pounds. Hoping to create a Christmas-themed resort town in the middle of the desert, Talbot built the Santa's Land tourist attraction and put the surrounding parcels of land up for sale. Despite her efforts, the parcels did not sell, and the town's only residents were those who worked there. Talbot ended up selling the entire place in 1949. Santa Claus succeeded in becoming a tourist destination where kids could visit Santa year-round. Its post office was important because it received children's letters addressed to Santa, and replies were sent out with a Santa Claus postmark. Santa Claus, Arizona received positive attention from a few major celebrities. Duncan Hines, a prominent restaurant critic, bolstered the town's popularity when he gave the Christmas Tree Inn a highly favorable review. Sci-fi writer Robert Heinlein once ate at the Christmas Tree Inn and enjoyed it so much that he featured the town in the 1950 short story Cliff and the Calories. In the 1970s, the town became less popular and fell into disrepair. In 1983, owner Tony Wilcox put the town up for sale, but was unable to find a buyer at the asking price. The last remaining business closed in 1995, and the town has sat abandoned since. Abandoned Kings Court in Sierra Vista. The Sierra Vista City Council voted to ratify the sale of the property formerly known as Kings Court, a tennis and racket sport company based in Ontario, Canada. The Supreme Court submitted an offer to purchase Kings Court from the city for $500,000. Approval of the City Council authorized city staff to accept that offer and finalize sale of the property. The property was donated to the city in 2012, and an architectural study revealed significant issues with the structures on site. In 2014, city voters approved a ballot measure authorizing the city to sell the property. Abandoned Gold Kings Mansion in the Hualapai Mountains. Tucked away in the Hualapai Mountains is an old crumbling building, a relic of wealth that seemed to endlessly flow from the mountain's mines. A rough drive-up dirt road or a long hike will take you to the site of the now abandoned luxury place. It was originally designed to be one of a series of modern accommodations for miners and investors. The parent company announced plans to create a series of two-story concrete bunkhouses for its employees and contractors. These buildings were expected to feature some incredible modern technological advances that were definite improvements over the tents and shacks miners lived in traditionally. The company promised a fireproof building with electricity and good insulation. It was an excellent draw. Not a lot of documentation exists about what exactly happened, but one rancher reported in 1933 that the building was not being used for its original purpose. Instead, it had quickly transformed into a spot to wine and dine potential stockholders, and they left the miners out of the equation. The mine opened in 1929, the same year as the stock market crash that led to the Great Depression. This led to a halt in mining, and the few attempts to get it started back up failed. By 1957, the Arizona Department of Mineral Resources proclaimed the mine idle, and it was officially abandoned. Gila River Memorial Airport in Chandler. Gila River Memorial Airport was built in 1942 as Williams Auxiliary Army Airfield No. 5, one of several satellite airfields for Williams Army Airfield. After the war, it was renamed Goodyear Air Force Auxiliary Airfield, with its original triangular configuration modified to accommodate early jet aircrafts of the 1950s. During the 1960s, it passed on to civilian control as Goodyear Airport, then as Memorial Airfield. No hangar space existed at the airport until the late 1970s, when the airport began playing host to older piston-engined transport aircraft, many of which had been converted for use as air tankers. The majority of the converted aircraft were operated by Bygert Aviation. By the 1990s, it had become an aircraft boneyard. By 2007, the Gila River Indian community had assumed control of the airfield, renaming it Gila River Memorial Airport, and all commercial tenants were evicted from the property in hopes of turning the airfield into a casino. The developmental plans have yet to come to fruition, leaving the site sitting completely abandoned. So guys, those are the top 10 abandoned places in Arizona. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see a part 2. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Peace.